Hey, it's Roger from 76 in 76. You find me at the campsite. What a vibe. And I mean, what a vibe. This place is amazing. And I'm fortunate enough to be joined by the owner. And here is Louis. Hey, Louis.
Hey.
Hey, Louis, here we go. So, Louis, here comes your first question.
Yeah.
Louis, not saying we've had a drink or anything, but here comes your first question.
Yeah, no worries.
If you could describe your ultimate breakfast, what would it be?
Probably a good English fry-up.
Okay, I like your style.
Yeah.
Next question. If I say the word democracy, what does that conjure up for you?
Failure.
Excellent answer. Next question. If you could change an existing law or policy, or maybe create a new law or policy, or maybe it's just a change you'd like to see in this country, what might one of those be?
I think, without thinking about it, the first thing that came to mind is immigration.
In what sense?
It needs to be controlled, not in a bad way, but like too many people are living in this country with the infrastructure we've got, and the influx of immigrants which are coming into the country, that needs to be controlled, because we just cannot contain our own country and then let in even more people from other countries, because ultimately we're taking on other countries' burden. And that sounds horrible to put it in the humanitarian way we think about a single human being, because I definitely don't want to help stop our country from helping somebody that needs help. But how can our country carry on when we are literally looking after other countries' casualties, and now we've got our own casualties, and the whole infrastructure is falling to pieces? And I know firsthand, because I've got physical problems with myself. I'm a farmer. I've got arthritis, and I've got other problems, and it's not been dealt with. And I'm asking the government to, I've been to the doctor, and I'm on a waiting list for another 6 months until something happens about my arthritis. And if I can't walk anymore at 40 and I'm a farmer, how am I going to farm? And how are I going to produce something for the country that ultimately goes back into the food chain? So ultimately the NHS is stressed, and that's how far it goes down the line, that it actually affects somebody that's in the process of what feeds the nation ultimately. And that was just my story, let alone what goes on either side. Military, doctors, nurses, firefighters, everybody else, all and all the working class people, which are and hardworking people, in the minorities, and whatever. But the people which actually make the country go forward, well, they get neglected, because if the NHS ain't working, then what's the point? Why are we paying taxes?
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. Next question.
That was a bit random.
No, next question. That's a great
Sorry
answer.
about that,
No.
man.
Your last question. So, we've had our general election. We've got a new government. How do you feel, Louis?
I'm hopeful, because we've had 15 years of Conservatives, and they haven't really, I don't know, it's hard to say, because I don't know if the situation has been that dire that they've actually kept us afloat, or I don't know if they've just been really conservative and sat back on the seat and not let us go forward. Because without all the facts and figures and actual numbers that somebody needs to fucking find and actually give to us all, I don't know what the reality of it all is, because media is fake media until you know what it's actually about, when there's numbers and facts. We can't just sit back and just watch media and know what's right anymore. Yes, Conservatives made a fucking tit themselves during the fucking COVID pandemic. What a bunch of idiots, right? So unprofessional. And, just, yeah, no.
No, that's great. Did you vote?
I didn't vote, no.
No. Okay.
Because I honestly don't think that it's just democracy has failed.
excellent answer. Well, that was Louis, and I'm in, well, I'm just outside of Kidderminster actually, but wow. Take it easy.